Welcome to the podcast with your favorite cash flow guys, Mike and Blaine. Giving you the best advice while having a beer. When you're running a business, there are problems every day. Let Mike and Blaine help you out and guide your way. Cheers to the good times with Mike and Blaine for business, beer, and BS.
Hey, it's Mike and Blaine, episode 213. I'm Mike Brown, also known as Cashflow Mike. That is Blaine Birch, my friend, my partner, and the CEO of Dry Run, the best cash flow forecasting software on the planet. What's up, man?
This is the Halloween episode, even though we're one day early.
Well, does that mean it's supposed to be scary, or I'm scary, you're scary, I'm scared? I don't know.
That's why I wore a costume.
You're as a Blaine Birch?
Pretty much, yeah.
Because that's my favorite hoodie.
Like. Yeah, pretty much same as the enacting myself for Halloween this year. So,
hey, how come you go all the way up? I mean, what are you trying? I don't know anybody that wears their zipper all the way up.
Yeah, in Texas, it's freezing here. I don't do that in August.
You know what? Look, I got a sweatshirt on today. It was like freezing cold this morning for whatever reason. It was 91. I had somebody just a couple of days ago that said, "Does that say 89 at your place?" I'm like, going, "Yeah, it's pretty actually hot for almost November, but it's almost what is it? 53 or 56 right now? No, 71. Sorry, 71." I think it was 56 earlier, and it felt really cold.
It's not that here. We popped out to grab a quick bite of lunch, and it was barely above freezing. I won't use Celsius because I know you guys get lost. Barely above freezing, and it was kind of windy. It felt awful. It felt so cold, and so I'm still down here trying to warm up. So maybe as the show goes on, I'll drop the zipper down once I warm up.
All right, but you're like minutes away from like jumping in the car and going to Arizona.
Yes. Yeah, that's why we have nothing in the fridge. No food. We've been eating out like we didn't have to start that early, but we do. We're just kind of disorganized trying to get ready. And so we're just, that's what it is. So it's kind of a mess right now. But
all right. So before we got on, we was talking about how many times we're just running right now. It's just crazy. And especially with you trying to get packed for 6 months, it's one of those things where I'm starting to figure out that there's just some bullshit when it comes down to measuring things. Just some absolute garbage that don't work. So that's what I want to talk about today, right? That's what the whole thing is about, hitting your targets, missing the point, because we get filled up with so much noise of what to count, because what is that quote? Have you ever heard the quote was things that are counted don't always count, and things that you count don't always count, or things that are counted don't always count. I know I screwed that way up. I know what it is. It's not everything that's counted counts, right?
yes.
And not everything that counts can be counted. That's what it is.
Yes. That's a very good quote, very good topic, highly topical for virtually any business, anytime. But now when things are a little tight, boy, you can't afford to count things that don't matter and miss ones that do. So I think it's a great topic. Before we dive into that, what's your drink of the week that you got going?
I have a specialty beer from one of our sponsors, Neighbor Pat, right? So twice a year, one of his friends that's a soccer coach who lived in England, United Kingdom somewhere, I don't know exactly where. His father comes to the United States to visit him, right, from England. And they asked him if he could brew this thing called Ruddles.
Yes.
Ruddles County Ale, right? So Pat has his version of Ruddles, and the father says it tastes almost exactly, if not exactly, the way it tastes in England. So Pat's found something out, and so he makes 2 cases of it and bottles it, right? So, I mean, he's even in bottles. So, I mean, look at this. Let's look at quality control. Where are we at on quality control?
Yeah, it's been worse.
It's been worse. Yeah, it's been worse. Labels not quite the same height. Maybe a little lower. Oh no, a lot lower. There it is. Look at the labels. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's where you know it's homemade.
But it's actually really good, right? So twice a year, I get to experience Ruddles, and he brought 2 bottles down for me today, and he's got this cool next week, a pumpkin coffee stout.
Nice. So those are ones, because I remember him making the Ruddles one last year. I would never have remembered the name, but as soon as you mentioned it, and the pumpkin stout, I think he does every fall too, doesn't he?
I think that's right. Yeah. So, I mean, it's one of those things where, I'm really excited about it. Apparently I've never had Ruddles, so I'm going to say it's exactly like the Ruddles that I know.
Yeah.
Because
there you go.
Like last year.
Exactly the same as how you remember the original Ruddles that you've never tried. I had a pumpkin. I actually got a pumpkin. I carved a jack-o'-lantern and I made some pumpkin seeds, but it was still too warm. So then within a few days, the pumpkin started to cave in and it turned all black inside and started to smell. So it's gone now. It's too bad because not even Halloween it had to go. But anyway, we had to get rid of it anyway, I guess. So.
Pat is really creative. Look at this.
Ooh, yeah. We both did that today. That was like I got to clean.
All I did was open it up.
Because I had actually did the same thing over here, and it's all over my desk still. But I cleaned up some of it anyway.
All right.
We've never had any problems pouring. We both had problems today.
No, all I did was open it. I didn't even pour it. I didn't do anything. All I did was open it.
Okay, so I over poured and did a terrible job. So while you clean up your mess, I'll tell you what I'm drinking today. So what I did is I just picked one out of the fridge. We almost have none left.
I actually need to go get a paper towel.
Run and get it, and I'll tell everyone about my beer while you're running out to get a paper towel.
This is ridiculous. Look, it's still going.
Oh, that's Ruddles for you.
I don't know how the English drink this.
So, Pat, thanks for shaking the bottle for Mike before you brought it over to him. Well, I'm going to tell you guys, and Mike's going to miss this, but what beer I'm featuring this week, it is from a brewery called Derive, but it's got the accent aigu, so I think it's actually a French, probably from Quebec. À la Derive Brasserie Artisanal. So, artisanal brewing company in Quebec. And it's called Frou Frou Villain. And it's an NEIPA. So just one that was left in the fridge. It looks like kind of a fun one here. And some neat artwork on there. I know I've had some really good experiences with Quebec beers up till now. So this is going to be a really good one. Mike, I think you missed it. I got this one, Frou Frou Villain. And it's from a Quebec brewery called À la Derive Brasserie Artisanal. That is not how you pronounce that. It's been a long time since I had French class. So you still got a problem going there. Holy cow.
Pat, what'd you do?
Pat says he must have shaken it to check quality. Pat, I think you shook it on the way up the block, but I think that's pretty good. That's a pretty good idea.
Overcarbonated or something. Goodness gracious. Now I'm afraid to drink the other one.
That's like a perpetual emotion machine. You could power your house off of that thing constantly blowing bubbles.
Look, it's still going. Nobody shook it up. I mean, goodness gracious.
Well, Pat, I'm still excited. You did another set of Ruddles. Even though I haven't tried it, I'd like to try it sometime. But Mike swears by it. But I think he shook it before he opened it.
I'm losing confidence in it look, still going. Still going.
Just take a good swallow, man. You got to get through the bubbles.
It's losing some steam though.
Oh, but I bet it tastes good though.
And it filled up. I mean, remember that one beer I had that I take a drink and it filled up my whole mouth with bubbles? That's what that just did.
Oh, I agree with you, Pat. He said you should drink it in a glass, and I totally agree. I will not drink a beer without a glass. It's a different experience. You got to get yourself a nice glass there, man. Then you'll be in good shape.
Well, he's not giving me instructions for these beers he brings down. He's
Pat, you're gonna have to put that on the label. Hey, Mike, pour in glass before drinking.
Jeez. All right, so that was an interesting way to start the day, right?
We are off to a very slow start, but that's okay. And we gotta thank our beer sponsors, of course. Neighbor Pat, ongoing beer sponsor forever, always bringing Mike some beer. Thanks again, Pat, and thanks for giving him a bottle that sprayed everywhere because that was highly entertaining. Always appreciate it.
Yeah. So, hey, and I just talked with him today. One of our other beer sponsors is the Cash Flow Cowboy. He's the CPA down in Houston. His name is Larry Weinstein. If you're looking for a CPA, somebody that knows cash flow, somebody that can help you with your taxes, contact Larry down in Houston.
And Rachel Barnett from Gentle Frog. So if you are using QBO for your business and you need to know how to use it better, go check out Rachel's channel on YouTube. It's the YouTube at Gentle Frog, or you can even go to gentlefrog.com. Thousands of videos to show you how to use it.
Yep. Don't forget the Amazon bestseller. That's one of our bigger sponsors, Karen Hairston of 3S Smart Consulting. She's up in Michigan. She can help you with her cash flow. She can help you smooth out the lumpy cash flow, just like dry run. Different way, though.
Perfect. Thanks again, Karen. Really appreciate it. All right, we're long overdue to dive into the topic today after all the drama.
All right, so I'm telling you, if this is the first time you've ever listened to the show and you go, what in the hell is this? How do these people have so many downloads? How do these people have so many fans? Because this is the weirdest start to a podcast ever. Well, this is Mike and Blaine, Business, Beer, and BS. And apparently we had a top dose of BS, right?
Top dose for our tens of fans.
Yeah, tens of fans, right there. All right, so here's what I'm thinking, all right? You see how it comes into our Facebook channel or Instagram and all that all the time, where somebody says, I can boost your SEO and your views and your likes and your engagement. And I bet we get 10 a week or more. People
Easy.
Just, jump in and think that they can solve all of our problems on the internet. Well, here's what I'm realizing, right? People will say, well, you have a lot of fans, but you don't have engagement. You don't have this. You don't have likes. You don't have people commenting. I'm starting to think that you got to realize the ideal client that I have anyway is 45 to 65 years old, and they're adding things to their ongoing practice, right? They're kind of more established in their career. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like going, well, what do I do? What do I do? Right. As I'm kind of in that group as my ideal customer. I think that's why people kind of like me in my group, because I fit in with them, right? We're all about the same age. We got the same things that are happening. I'm like going, I don't really like and engage and comment on things. I don't personally. So I'm like going, well, maybe that's okay. Maybe it's okay that people follow and just read or just watch, and they don't have to press the like button, and they don't have to write a comment and get other people engaged so other people see it. Maybe it's the anti-algorithm type thing that we do. I'm okay with just being a voyeur of somebody's content and gaining something from that. And I think I'm okay now with people doing that with mine. I don't think I need people to like and comment and subscribe. Or subscribe, I do, but.
Yeah. By the way, please like, follow, and subscribe. But I do totally agree that the bottom line is, are we getting customers? And a lot of these so-called experts, they have, I think, just they push vanity metrics, but they walk away, they run away. If you said to them, I don't care about any of those metrics, get me this many high quality leads to meet with a month, and I'll do a rev share with you, and they will run because they know they aren't delivering. And so to find something that works with your customer, like all these people that email us all the time, they don't know who our customers. They couldn't care less who our customers are. They couldn't care less about how to get to them. It's all about them, and they'll throw some vanity metrics at you, and you're going to get likes and follows. Yeah, but does that give me customers? Oh, that's not up to us. Well, then I'm not talking with you, right?
I had this company today. All right, this is where I kind of thought about this. This company today emails me and comes through my contact form on the website saying, I've had 3, 4, 5 people ask me about your software over the last month, and I checked it out, and it's fantastic, and I want to be able to do that. Contact me so I can, put it in the hands of my customers. Well, how'd you check it out? Because I don't know who you are. You can't get to it.
Software company has got the same bloody thing. Exactly.
Yeah.
I always laugh because I look at it and go, I used your unnamed software that does something I don't know anything about and won't mention, and I thought it was terrific. That's like, oh boy, you scammer. And that's just the word of it. It's just so many scams out there that is not even, I can't even put that above a scam. That's how off.
And just like with SEO and stuff like that, I get this. I use this service that kind of does a lot for me, and then I get these report cards, and we'll say my score is 90 out of 100. It's really high. I bet 5 times a day somebody says, "I did a check of your website and found all these errors and found all this." I say, "Hey, great, send it over to me." Nothing.
Not happening.
You never hear back from them. Say, so what I'm saying, and people go, I just did a thing where it was a blast of blog posts. I thought I hadn't posted in a while. So I had a company help me write some blog posts just so I can get up in the search engine things. Mm-hmm. And it does. It actually does that. It gets there, but it doesn't convert, right? So there's something I know now that the clicks went to the website, but they just went to the blog post and then went to something else. So I don't know what works anymore, except for just getting people to engage with you, at least in my business, engage with you, like be a person. I know that people, because I'm like me, right? My customers are like me. I might join a Facebook group or something like that and just kind of stalk it, kind of like just follow along, because I don't want to be scammed by anybody. So I'm like going, okay, how legit is this? Because you can only bullshit somebody for so long and then your crazy pops out. I say that in dating. I say that in marriage, like going, and then you got to figure out, can I deal with that person's crazy? That's really what we're talking about. And so I watch, and I think that's what people do for me, because I see people that will join my Facebook group for free, or they'll download my free course. And then it may be 2 or 3 months before they actually buy. And I'm like going, I think that the more times they see me on videos, they see me on the podcast, they read my books, they go, yeah, okay, I can get down with this guy. I think that's how my customers work. So any other metric besides you coming into the Facebook group or getting in the course or seeing me live somewhere, I don't put a lot of stock in.
Yeah. My filters today have changed quite a bit. And anyone that has an opinion on how to grow my business, I literally generally just completely ignore if they haven't done it themselves. And when I say done it themselves, not they were part of a team. They were the founder. They were founder of a business where they grew it. Because as when I talk, you and I sit down all the time, we talk about this stuff. I talk with a lot of other founders. They're so much more, they understand it so much better, but somehow they don't realize how much they understand. And so, when I talk with other founders, like, oh, you kind of, well, maybe this is what we tried, like they have, but it's really insightful. And whenever someone comes in and they're just, oh, you have to do this. This is what you do. It's 100%. It's my patented system. No, have you done it? No, but I've done it for other people. They've all done it. No, go away. Because it's I've seen so many of them, and it just, unless they've done it themselves, and there's a precious few out there that have actually done it,
Hey, speaking of, one of the precious few that I know has done it, waved and gave us a, what is that, a square? High square? I don't know what it is. Rick Banda down in your neck of the woods, owns a Zero Chem cleaning company. We used to own Recover together. He has done it. If this guy knows how to run businesses, he knows, he's put his fingers in the dirt and actually massaged the soil and made things work. So what's up, Rick?
He called you square. He's talking about you.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Or maybe
that's just like I had to look up the other day. Okay, 18-year-old daughter in there. She, I said, hey, Kirk Herbstreit used the word chalked the other day. Like he got chalked. What does that mean?
Okay. No idea.
She had to look it up too, and it's teenager slang for like he got killed in this play, right? It's like the old slang of chalk.
The chalk outline. That's what I kind of identified. Like that's what I made the connection with, but I just assumed I was wrong because I didn't know. That was a connection.
Yeah, I didn't know. I asked her, and she asked the internet.
There you go. Let me Google that for you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, old man. I'm like going, wait a second, you're the one looking it up too.
Rick said it's a wave. Yeah, okay, Rick, we see the wave, but then there's this little square beside it, at least on our side. So we thought it was you're waving at us squares or something, but
yeah, there's a square right next to it. So
we'll just take the wave. It's
a terrible wave. All right, so let's think about it. I mean, numbers that don't even matter to me anymore are the vanity metrics, right? How many people look at something? Oh, he says the emoji didn't convert. All right. Well, are you an Android person? He's an Android person.
Then they never work.
He's a green bubble guy, like Pat. Pat's a green bubble guy. Pat always gets kicked out of every group chat in the neighborhood because he's got green bubbles. And you just can't deal with it. Like, you can't do the fun stuff. Can't do the emojis. Can't do the GIFs.
That's why he gave you the bubbles today.
Yeah. All right, but like vanity metrics, the ones that they don't even make me feel good. They make the person who's doing it feel good, right? I got so many likes, right? It always reminds me of, you remember that cell phone commercial of the guy? It's kind of an, I think he's like Indian, whatever. He's sitting in the car. He goes, "Oh my God, 100 likes!" Right? Like on whatever he done, a picture or something like that. That's what it always reminds me of. That somebody like it's 100 likes. I used to think about that like on birthdays. I'm like, "Oh my God, 100 people told me happy birthday!" Like, oh my God, I thought that was a big deal, and it meant nothing. I mean, it means something. But in the vast scope of things, it just makes you feel good. It's a vanity metric. So what are some things you've probably measured in the past that you're like, that was dumb. We shouldn't have measured that.
Yeah, I probably have a list as long as my arm. But when you first launch, web visitors. And back in the day, it was always like clicks and impressions. And there's so, and we would have some articles that we would get tons of traffic and it was ranked really high. If you search for this or search for that, it ranks really high. And it all sounds really good and it feels encouraging, but they're not turning into customers. And the more we learned about our customers, the more we realized this is bullshit. It's not moving the needle for us. And you start to figure out what moves the needle. And I've told this a number of times, but I know when I was at South by Southwest, I probably did 100 and some meetings and barely got anything out of it. And then I went to a little event, not much longer, not that much later, with probably 50 CFOs in the room. Guess what? Needle moves a lot. And understanding like you have to get in front of that perfect customer for you. And you have to have the right message and you're solving a problem for them. And when you start putting all that together, a volume of nothing is volume of nothing. It's still zero. It's nothing. And so it's so important to figure out who that customer is and how you get directly to them with something that resonates.
Well, that's why Courtney asked me the other day, Tuesday, I left here at noon, right? And drove up to Austin, which is about an hour and a half away for a 4:30 meeting. You're like, oh, why'd you leave at noon? Because I had another meeting that I took virtually at a Starbucks, and I wanted to be closer and not get caught in traffic. Yeah. So anyway, so I went to Austin to meet with an accounting group, 30 people in a bar restaurant, Waterloo Ice House in Austin. That made more of a difference this month than anything else, because not only did I meet with a fractional CFO group where they got 15 advisors, I met with a bank, business banker that wants to introduce me to one of the large regional banks here in Austin, San Antonio area. 20 some different accountant, bookkeepers, enrolled agents, and a few other vendors like paychecks and things like that. I'm like going, dude, that's the room I got to be in. I will drive an hour and a half, 3 hours, right, to go talk to 30. And they gave me 90 minutes. They gave me 60 minutes. We went to 90 and they wanted more.
Nice.
Right. I'm like going, that's exactly the type of group I want to be in front of. I don't care if I get 1,000 likes. I don't care if I get 1 million views. You put me in a room of 30 people that want my product right now, that moves the needle.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And and that's hard to figure out for businesses. It's hard to figure out, especially for startups. You know, we've pivoted before, and that's the norm. You know, it's really tough to get that. They always say the mysterious product market fit. It takes time to get that, and it's there's so much work, there's so many conversations, and there's no easy way. Like there just isn't. It's a grind, and it's hard to tune out the bullshit. It's really hard because you want a shortcut, you want an easy way. Lots of people are promising an easy way, a fast way. We've tried so many of those in the past, and it costs you a lot of money and a lot of time because they just so rarely do anything to move the needle.
Yeah, well, the one thing I'm looking for, right? I mean, because I just built a dashboard for that one client I've got that and they always end up way too big in the beginning, but I'm okay with that, right? And the very first dashboard might have too many things because I want to start cutting, right? And the CEO's portion, the view of the dashboard is only really 3 things, which is the 3 strategic goals that he had for the year. So he's just managing 3 things, but every department, there's 7 departments, they have different things that align to one of the 3 strategic, things. So they might end up with 3, 4 themselves, but now we got a 25, KPI dashboard, right? When it comes down to it, because of all the different departments. So this is a bigger thing. But I tried to get them to say, it's got to be less than 5 things you're measuring in your department. What are the things that actually drive action? Whereas when you see the number, or you see the gauge, or you see whatever it is, however you're measuring it, I do this if it's too low, I do this if it's too high. If you can't determine an action, an immediate action from looking at that, that dial, that gauge, that number, then it's the wrong thing. If you're like, it's okay, it's nice, we like it for it to be, there was one of them that came out, I forget what it was. It was like so much % of people that were on an incentive program. Okay. Why do we need to measure how many people are taking advantage of the incentive program? Right. So, how does that get us to the bookings, the earned revenue, and EBITDA goal that we have for the company? Yeah. Like, why exactly. Measure it? Yeah. It's fun. It's nice to have it. It makes us feel good about our relationship with our employees, but it's not a company goal. It's maybe you as the HR director goal. The one that I thought was interesting was I want accounts payable to be 60% of accounts receivable on a monthly basis. I'm like going, makes sense to me. It means I got, money coming in and only 60% of it's going out. So the rest of it is used to run the business and all that. I'm like going, that makes sense. It's like having a gross profit, except for it doesn't have labor in it, right? So we got to take labor out of that. But that's a measurable thing. If it's not there, that means we're either buying too much or spending too much on the materials. So anyway, I think you have to be able to make a decision when you see a metric.
Oh, absolutely. And it's hard to figure out which ones matter. And I think that's I think the way to figure those out is to start from not a list of metrics and start to cherry pick out of them. Is to look at how your business operates, where you make your money, how you make your money, where those expenses are coming from, and figure out the main drivers of your business and what makes it move forward. Is it, and then from there you can start to derive the things that matter to you. And once you know what matters to you, then you can start to go, okay, there's something we can measure to understand. Is our sales velocity kind of right? Is our funnel moving and getting higher quality and all? Like, there's things that they can measure. I think too often they look at a list of, KPI list off of Google or something, and they just cherry pick a few and go, well, that sounds good. What are the top KPIs, chat? And then it'll tell you, and then you'll say, okay, well, I guess we'll do these ones. Very unlikely to match up with what actually matters for your business.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, so even in like the restaurants, some people say, hey, do counts, do like traffic counts. That's probably a good one for a restaurant. What we measured was average ticket amount, right? Because to me, that corresponded, that was almost the same as a traffic count. But I thought if I could get, we'll say $15, $20 out of every person that walked in the door, then all I got to do is worry about how many more people I got to get in the door, right?
Yeah.
Because we already had a way to get $20 out of every person. And now the traffic count means something. If people are coming in, I don't know how much they spend, then I can't connect it to traffic count. So we had to do the secondary step saying every person that walks in this door was worth $20. Right.
And you can see that when a business maybe has a lunch special or something like that, and the average ticket price goes down, but maybe their volume comes up, but does it come up enough? There's I think the magic price point and where you can bring people in, but you can still be profitable and you're actually turning dollars over, rather than we just had X number of people come in for lunch. Do you make any money off of it?
Yeah, exactly right. When I ran the hotel staffing company, I thought all I had to do was just add more hotels. Every hotel was more money. But it actually caused me a bigger deficit in dollars. Here's what I mean, right? Hotels tend to pay in 45 to 60 to 90 days, which means I put somebody to work today. They work all week. At the end of the week, I give you an invoice. Next week, I got to pay my employee because you pay every other week. Mm-hmm. I don't get paid for that employee's hours for 3 months later, we'll say, or 2 to 3 months later. Well, if that happens every week, I got to make up payroll every single 2 weeks. Now I'm covering 4 to 6 payroll periods for every employee. That means every new hotel, I have that many more new employees. I have to pay that many more times before I get paid the first time. Mm-hmm. What I learned when I did that was that I couldn't measure my success by the number of hotels or new accounts. I had to measure it in how short I could collect.
Yep.
I mean, how fast I could get the money, because every new hotel actually caused a bigger debt for me. I had to expand the credit line. I had to, borrow more money just to keep up with payroll until the money started rolling in 3 months later. That's where growth, success, measuring the wrong thing actually can hurt you. And that's a weird lesson learned, that you can be so successful you grow broke.
Yeah, it's one of the most, and it's hard for people to imagine. I think at times one of the riskiest times for a business is when they're growing too fast, because they're usually, it's not the norm. It wasn't the norm for a long time. And as grow, they're undercapitalized. And like you said, you explained it perfectly well. I got to pay out, and then I got to wait for money to come in. And it's if it's modest growth, you can probably manage it, but fast growth is really challenging.
Yeah, it took me about 1.5 years to figure it out. That I thought in the beginning, if I just go sell more, we'll dig our way out of this. I'll just get more money coming in. No, because in my business, every sale was actually more money going out.
Yeah. Do you remember?
Actually, it had the opposite effect.
A little bit of bullshit here, but it actually dovetails with what you're talking about. Do you remember that Simpsons where they got stuck down in a really deep hole? And they're like 40 feet down or whatever in this hole. And then Homer says, we'll dig our way out, and then just starts digging it deeper. Like, yep, that's how it is. We'll just keep digging.
Keep digging.
You just end up with a bigger hole.
Our way out. That's funny. That's funny. So, all right. So the other thing it always reminds me of, that story reminds me of, is the Michael Dell quote. You remember that one? Michael Dell from
Oh
Dell Computers.
yes. You remind me. I've read it a million times. I can't remember the exact quote.
He said we were so busy, and what he was talking about is the shift from building computers where people paid him up front, and he would take our money, build our computer with our money, and then ship it back to us. Well, when CompuServe or CompUSA or one of those came in, he started to have to build his own computers and put them on the shelf because it accelerated sales, right? He'd have more sales. Well, he sold more units, but he didn't have the cash because now he was used to getting cash up front for all the inventory, all the parts, building the piece of equipment, and then shipping it out to us, and he already had the money. Well, now he had to build it himself on his own money, put it on the shelf, and wait for CompuUSA to give him the money back. Right. Yeah. Same problem I had in the hotels. Right. And that's one of the points I want to make here. It doesn't matter if you're Dell or Mike Milan Staffing Company. It doesn't matter. You can run into the same problem at any size company. But his quote that I always take to heart is, he goes, we were so busy watching the speedometer that we forgot to look at the gas gauge. And what he's saying, the speedometer in his case was the sales revenue because you're recognizing the sale.
Yep.
But the gas gauge is the cash that fuels it, right? That actually fuels the company, and the cash wasn't there. So he was having a cash problem early on, trying to figure out how to move to a retail model.
Yeah, it's challenging for virtually every type of business when they're growing. Even in my last business, the creative agency, you have some of those challenges because you're selling, but you're bringing on more staff, and then you're trying to prepare to serve all these customers that you don't necessarily quite have yet. But then as the customers come in, it could be with new customers, it could be 6 months before you actually start getting any money coming in the door. By the time you get that lead in, and you got a bigger room and you got more people, and it's just this weird balancing act, because if you don't have the people and the equipment and to be able to do the job, you're not going to be able to sell it. There's going to be a real challenge. And so you kind of have to have that up front. And it's just a balancing act, and just watching these dollars come in and out and try and figure out, how do we float this and grow when we know a lot of these deals are sitting out there a long way out, and there's no guarantees on them either. And it's just constantly a tricky balancing act to look into the future.
Yeah, and if your business is having that right now, if this resonates with you, if your business is clunky, like you're waiting for money to come in, or this is your story or your client's story, I want you to contact Cashflow Mike. The reason why? This is exactly the problem that I solve. You go to cashflowmike.com, get your first lesson free. Right underneath the header, go to 7-minute conversation, click on it. It's going to teach you how to look at your financial statements in 7 minutes or less. And you want more? You want some other tools? You want something for free? You want to check it out, dip your toe in the water? Go join my Facebook group, The Clear Path to Cash, and we will help you with resources and tools and guidance and conversations that will help you put more cash in your pocket. I'm Cashflow Mike. Come see me at cashflowmike.com.
I like that one.
You missed it, dude. You blissed it. It was like eight minutes past. You're like going, you missed it. You're like just going on your little thing. You got your COVID shot and your flu shot, and you're like, I'm not going to do any work today. I'm just going to.
Yeah, I could just lie down under the desk here, actually, take a little nap, to be honest. Feeling a little bit loopy. But I knew I looked at the clock, like, okay, there's got to be a way to do a segue, but I'm awful at them. You're so much more polished with your segues. So I can always rely on you to your own segue.
I was like going, he's going to jump in here somewhere. He's going to do it. Yeah. Once again, if you're confused, because we're terrible at educating people, this is the mid-roll, right? The mid-roll is that we usually have a company come in here, and we're going to promote you. We're going to talk about your company during the mid-roll. We do a great job with it. I can tell you, I mean, we actually show the product. We talk about the product. This is the biggest sponsorship we got. And when we don't have one, you're going to hear about Dry Run, or you're going to hear about Cashflow Mike. So if you want to be one and not hear about us anymore, contact us at mikeandblaine.com.
Always looking for a great new sponsor to add into our beer sponsors as well. So But yeah, I'm just sitting here sticking to my knitting, and you're wondering what's going on. How come he's not moving
Like,
this
oh, yeah.
over to me? And I'll just, but you're just so much better at it. So leave it at that.
Yeah, well, we all got a skill. Everybody's got a skill. I mean, hey, you do a lot of the work. Hey, don't think just because I do great segues, he does most of the work. If you see anything on YouTube, if you see anything on the internet, that's all him. It's all him.
Just blame me if I
Just blame you. There you go.
didn't edit it properly because we don't spend a lot of time on this stuff. So
Hey, you know what I saw, and I watched it again because it's somewhat interesting. It's entertaining, and it both pisses me off and makes me really happy at the same time. You ever see that documentary about WeWork?
no, it sounds familiar though. Like I've listened to some podcasts on it, but I haven't watched a documentary that I recall.
Yeah. So the guy, I forget his name, but I mean, the guy has a great idea. These shared workspaces, right?
Mhm.
And he's on raised $1 billion plus. I mean, this
Yep.
guy, I mean, just, and it all started with just taking over unused space and renting it out in shared spaces. So folks like you and I could just have a place to work, and it's actually a good idea.
Mhm.
But he wasn't so much worried about the cost of the renovations, and because they were beautiful places, cost of the renovations, cost of the property, and what it cost to acquire it. And I mean, wasn't really worried about that. His metric for success and how he raised on the money was the growth and the properties that he acquired, not the debt service, not the money that it took to maintain it and go with it,
Mhm.
even the rents. It was just, we opened this new property, we got this new property. It's all it's just rapid, and it was so fast how he did it. It
Mhm.
just drained all the capital. So all the money that came in from investors, he just went and just opened up more WeWorks all across the country, from Seattle to New York.
Mhm.
Well, it drained all the money, right? And it led to all these massive layoffs, and he had all these crazy, like, massive parties, and everything was just big, right? He was creating a big brand. He was beautiful. He was beautiful at branding and marketing and things like that. Not great at the cash management piece. Well, eventually he gets removed as the CEO. And the way the business is run, it was still going to go under, right? It just people couldn't get it turned around. There was just so much debt service. There was so much there, and it goes up for bankruptcy. And this guy comes back in and buys it for pennies. After they kicked him out and took
Yeah.
all his money from his buyout of leaving the company as a CEO, he comes back in
Yep.
and grabs it. So it's going to be interesting to see what the ending story is of WeWork, but that's how it went.
Yeah.
You know,
It's like, and that was a cash flow issue, but it's also just a net profit issue. Like if they're building out all of these beautiful, gorgeous spaces, and then you can come in and use the space for $100 a month. The math, there's no way it lines up. He might actually be able to get it to work now if he actually got it at pennies on the dollar and he doesn't know anything on these spaces. It's the only way you can do it is you can't have all the build out costs, all the renovation costs. There's no way people will pay enough to make those numbers line up properly. That's the golden time of startups. For so long, they didn't care about profit. That'll come later. That'll come later. That'll come later. You should have a model for it, though. It should make some sort of sense. And then on top of it, it's almost impossible to defend. Because I could go and rent a space and say, here's my co-working space. I got it on a dime, didn't do any renovations. Come in for $100 and I'll turn a profit if I get, how many people, right? So it's that's the challenge is those numbers never lined up from the start. And it's amazing that all these investors, the idea of trying to make a profitable business it just doesn't matter.
all right, so I'm going to do an experiment. Pat gave me 2 beers for this podcast. This one has been sitting. This one's been sitting, not shaking. You saw me the whole time.
Hasn't been shaken.
I'm
been
going to
stirred.
open it.
Not over your keyboard, I would suggest.
All right. Watch how carefully I open it, and we'll see what happens.
Pat, are you watching?
Oh, see, I let a little bit out right there. A little careful. A little bit of air out. Oh, it's already coming. Oh, no. Look. Oh. Look at that. That's not me. That's not me.
Yeah, Pat, I can't even blame you because that's been sitting long enough. If you shook those things all the way up the block, I don't think that would do it. So we'll have to hear from you, the brewery expert, the brewing master. What exactly makes a beer fizz like that when you open it? I wonder if you had them sitting in the freezer or something, because I've seen that happen before. You sit them in the freezer and you pop it out, and sometimes they'll actually freeze, and sometimes they kind of go everywhere. I don't recommend putting bottles into a freezer. So,
well, now it's sitting in the bathroom sink.
Well, you go back after 10 minutes and rinse it off, and you'll have yourself a half a beer left.
See, now that wasn't me at that point in time. I've been sitting there.
It wasn't shaking.
And no. It went psst. I'm like, okay, most beers don't do it like that. And then I saw it, and it's still flowing. It's still flowing.
Was it really cold? Because I was wondering. I was speculating on that if it was frozen before or cold.
No,
sometimes
I don't think so. I mean, it was just and it was just in my freezer for a couple hours before the show. Not freezer, my refrigerator.
In the fridge. Well, that should be fine.
Yeah, weird. Quality control.
Pat's going to say operator error, but that's all right.
Not that time. That's why I did it on camera, right? So you can't blame. You might blame me for the first one, not the second one. But hey, there was another metric, right? That I've mentioned this company before. JCPenney. You remember? I've talked to them. We did an episode on coupons.
Yeah,
coupons.
I'm not going to say anything, but I pronounce it coupon.
So coupon. All right, so coupons, right? And forever, JCPenney had everything kind of on sale. There was a coupon. There was a coupon for everything, right? There was a coupon for everything. And so they used to measure sales per square foot. That was how they measured the efficiency of the retail store, right? If it was 1,000, or 100,000 square foot store, sales per square foot is how they measured how well the store performed. Well, what happened when they removed the coupons, sales dropped like crazy, right? He was thinking that it was going to increase because he was paid, the CEO was paid on the margin, on actual gross profit margin, right? Or maybe net profit margin, but it's bonus. We'll just say his bonus was based on, profit. Mm-hmm. He thought that if you removed all the coupons, sales per square foot would increase without any sales increase. It would just increase the dollars per customer coming in. Yeah. And in actuality, it had the reverse effect because over 2 or 3 decades, they had trained their customers that that's what they do. They have these flyers. You had flyers at the front door. When you walked in, you picked up the flyer, what's on sale, and then you could walk through the store and buy the things that were on sale. Mm-hmm. When they stopped that, their loyalist customers, the one that had been with them for decades, stopped going. They said, no, everything's too expensive now because what used to be $20 is now $40 or $30, right? Mm-hmm. And it had the reverse effect. And it actually, not only did it hurt the entire company, but they haven't closed. I don't think they've all closed, right? JCPenney's.
Not many around. I'm not sure if there are any around anymore. Right.
So even though he was increasing the he was trying to increase his sales per square foot, it had the reverse effect. So even if he would have hit the number, it wouldn't have helped, right? Because he could hit the number with fewer customers, which really didn't help at all. Mm-hmm. It didn't help with sales.
A good friend of mine, if you guys are in retail, you got to know this name, Mark Risky with Headcount. Their company, it counts retail traffic, but there's a lot of companies that count retail traffic. But what happens is a lot of them have all this. It's vanity metrics. It's just how many people walk through the door, His company actually kind of connects the performance of the different marketing ads, and he would have picked that up. They would have picked that up, all the coupon problem, almost immediately, because that's his whole reason for being, is that it's not just the traffic, it's how do you turn that into sales and what's actually working. And so it's taking these vanity metrics that a lot of large retailers use and saying, no, there's more important numbers. Those are just sort of dumb figures that actually aren't changing the performance of your business.
Yeah, here's the one thing about like removing the coupon is that it's not an immediate reaction, because the customer has to learn that you're no longer doing that. Right. So the person that used to come every quarter goes back and go, what do you mean you're not doing it again? So you might not see it till another quarter later, or maybe even 2 quarters later that traffic is down. So some of these things are slow burns on metrics. They're not just immediate reactions to, the decision you make.
But I would be curious. Traffic might stay the same for a while. Conversion probably goes down.
Not buying,
or maybe they're not buying as much because they walk in the door, maybe expecting the flyers right by the door, the coupons right there, and all of a sudden they're not there, and they're going, I'm not going to buy anything. Traffic might still come for a while, but like you've said before, you can feel it before you see it, and it feels like that's what would happen there.
Yeah. Well, what would be interesting about that is put yourself in the consumer's shoes. I already have a set number that I'm okay with spending. Mm-hmm. But believe it or not, when you see like, this is $30, that's $40, I'm about 100, that's good. You probably wouldn't go to 200. You probably wouldn't go to 150. When you see 100, you're like, I could put that shirt down because I'm already at $100. I think people already kind of do that subconsciously. They already have a number they're comfortable with, and they don't go over it. Or if they do, they don't go over it by a lot.
Yeah, no, I think that's true. But I do think that if you go to a store, because I've felt this before too, if you go to a store and there's always sales, everything, it's always on sale. And you go in, it's not on sale that day. I'm like, I'm not buying it. Because I know, or my expectation is it's going to be on sale next week. It's going to be 35% off. I'm not spending now. I don't need it that bad, right? And then there's other stores that never have sales. And so you just go and buy it because there's no point in waiting. And so I think you either have to have one model or the other, and there's no in between.
Yeah, so that's so interesting because Untuck It, right? Untuck It is almost always 25% off. If they don't have that, I don't even walk in.
Yeah.
It's almost always 25% off. Lululemon, right? Veterans discount is like 15% off, right? Which is just a little bit more than sales tax free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
About once a quarter, maybe twice a year, I'll get an email saying veterans only special for 1 week, 25% off. That gets my attention because I know it only comes like twice a year. But I'll wait for it too. I'm like, they'll probably do it. It's like October, they'll probably do it.
Yeah. And you're conditioned for that. So it's if because I have same thing. I have some brands are like, okay, they go on sale like once a year, twice a year. I'll buy in between, but when it starts getting closer to where I'm like, I'm going to hang on because I think this is going to be a sale, you just do that.
Well, even in software, I stopped doing the end of the trial.
I think you just froze.
Discount.
Did I freeze or did you freeze?
You froze the same way, so I just keep going.
Okay.
Right, but at the end of a software trial, a lot of companies will give you, hey, last chance, we'll give you, even after the trial's over, we'll save 10% more if you do it today. Stop doing that because the whole market had conditioned software buyers to wait until the end of the trial and then wait past the trial for the discount.
Yeah.
Stop doing it. Like now it's full price.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just went the other way with it. Yeah. So, because your industry starts to educate people to just cut because they don't have any other tools. And I think you have to break that cycle when it happens, or you're going to go down the cut trail with them.
Yeah. Well, and I think you have to know what your competition is doing. You have to know where you sit in the market. I'm always a bigger fan of be the premium product. Don't offer discounts. Find those customers where you offer a real premium solution so that they'll pay for it, because the drive to the bottom is too hard. It's too scary of a place to be.
All right. So, hey, when do you leave, right? You're coming to the U.S. When do you leave?
Planning on tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning. All right. So tomorrow morning. So this is a big deal. This is the how big? How long does it take you to get down to Arizona from where you live?
It's about 4 days. It's a bit of a hike.
Is it really? Wait, do you stop? Now I know when you leave, you go up the coast. Do you go down the coast?
No, we just go straight down. Straight shot down.
Got it.
So yeah. And so it's
All
a bit of a hike, and we don't like doing super long. We're not I'm too old to do 12-hour days and garbage like that. I'm like, take your time. We know our places we like to stop, or places we like to eat, all the fun stuff. So yeah, we do that.
Yeah. How long you been doing that trip?
13 years, I think. A while. Doing it a while.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. So, all right. Well, good. Hey, safe travels.
Thank you.
Next week you'll be in a new background. We'll see a new background.
I'll be in a new background. So by the time most people see this one, unless you're watching live right now, I'll already be there. Then you see my new background, or my old background, my other background, I guess.
There you go. Hey, you've been listening to Mike and Blaine. This has been episode 213. We were talking about, metrics. And I want you to think about the right things. Count the things that count, not the things that don't. Right?
Yes.
I think that's kind of what we said in the beginning. So don't get wrapped up in vanity. Don't get wrapped up in things that make you feel good. Make sure that you're paying attention to the things that drive your business and measure success. So,
yes, absolutely. And please like, subscribe, follow, even though those won't be vanity metrics for us.
Well, because we don't get paid to do this, we might as well just feel good.
Yeah, the vanity metrics is all we got with this one. So you can always like, subscribe, follow, and tell your friends. Tell your friends about us.
There you go. We'll see you next week.
Check out their website at mikeandblaine.com. Then subscribe to the podcast and buy these guys a beer.